Well, you don't expect the council to come along, do you, and put this problem in front of you when you've got a neighbourhood so close.
G'day freedom lovers, welcome to part 2 of Troy Thompson on Magnetic Island. Today we're going to talk about the issue at 55 Kelly Street. The issue at 55 Kelly Street is that the Nellie Bay Harbour needs to be dredged of unwanted material, which is a high percentage of sand that is flowing down from Gustav Creek and into the harbour, making ship navigation in the harbour difficult. To resolve this issue, council want to dump the dredged material at 55 Kelly Street to be processed. Problems that could arise from this include dust blowing all over residential houses, bad smells from acid sulfate soils which occurs when the dredged material is exposed to the atmosphere, possible contamination of the creek and the groundwater.
And that's going to affect everyone who lives here, the smell,
the
salt.
As you said, your freshwater contamination. Yep. It will go through the aquifers and the perch sand.
We have a bore right here. There's one there. There's one across the creek. We have another one just down over here.
So pretty much all these properties run off that same water
creek.
Source.
Yeah. Well, when we bought our property, we knew this was community land. So you're actually devaluing the land all around it as well.
Not to mention a possible environmental disaster.
Even in the meeting that we had over in Horseshoe Bay with council there to tell the community what they're planning, they actually brought up, and it was asked the question as well, was if we had a massive downpour, if they can guarantee that it wouldn't go over the bum wall and into the creek, and they said, oh no, we have no guarantees there at all.
This will have the effect of turning a commercially zoned area into an industrial waste site. The lack of community consultation consisted of council informing the people of their intentions to dump the waste at 55 Kelly Street. The community was not consulted. They were told how it was going to be. This has resulted in community backlash against the Townsville City Council and Division 3 Councillor Anne-Marie Greeny, the current acting mayor and mayoral candidate for the coming by-election. Maybe she should be a little bit more focused on what's going on in her division. But, each to their own, I guess. Should the council's proposal go ahead, an estimated 1,300 truckloads of dredge waste are to be driven to the site along roads that are already poorly maintained and stockpiled at 55 Kelly Street.
There's 1,300 body trucks to come up that road.
And what's happening to the road?
Yeah,
road gets ripped up.
Apart.
That's right. Yeah. Everybody that I've spoken to here on the island has said to me, shouldn't be outside of council executive, that have said, oh look, this is the only place we've got because of the cost. Cost is, not really something that should be taken into account in this instance because it's an environmental issue. It doesn't meet what the code is, so it shouldn't be. It's pretty simple.
It is then to be processed by council for a period of around 2 years.
So if it's here for 2 years, it's going to be more than 2 years to get rid of all of the contamination that's been on site and in the water for a long period of time. So, it's not a 2-year problem, is it? It's not a move in and this is going to happen for 2 years. This could go on for 5 years, 6 years.
The site has already been a dumping ground for council waste materials that have been washed back down Gustav Creek for years, including concrete, bitumen and asbestos.
Mate? Well, this is a creek that comes from council land. This used to just all be sand, but we've got asbestos coming down now. It's everywhere. You got bits of concrete, bitumen.
So this is all waste materials from the council?
This is all from the council block.
Wow.
It's concrete again.
Yep.
Just in, a few square feet.
Yep.
Piece of asbestos. My kids have actually come home with this, and this is how I found out where it was coming from, because when they were young, they came home and they were using this for chalk. And I come down, they're writing their names with this. And I grabbed it off and said, what are you doing? Don't touch that. And then I had to give them a chat about asbestos. And then they told me there was heaps of it up the creek, and I said, come and show me. Then it took me over a few years ringing council, and they would not do anything about it.
Effectively, this could become a never-ending cycle of waste material being dredged and dumped, then washed back down the creek into the harbour, only to have this cycle repeat over and over again. An alternative solution has been offered by some members of the community, suggesting the utilisation of a suction cutter dredge coupled with a hydrocyclone filter, as the waste material is 60 to 70% sand materials, which when cleaned can be used to solve another issue at Nellie Bay. The Nellie Bay beach has been suffering from erosion. By utilising the hydrocyclone filter, we could clean the sand and then place it on the eroded areas at the Nellie Bay beach.
wouldn't that be best and less travel,
Everything.
less costs,
Less
more
impact.
environmentally friendly?
Well, none of the material has to come here. And with the hydrocyclone, the cost saving is that better than 60% of the volume gets taken out straight away and put on the Nelly Bay beach.
The remaining waste is able to be put into the maintenance dredging section of the Townsville port. The stakeholder for these works, which is the Townsville City Council, simply has to apply to the state government to put this material at the port. Once the permit is granted by state government, the Townsville Port Authority simply complies with the permit conditions.
Just doesn't make sense. You talk about natural habitat and you talk about your land, your space, your green areas. You're doing everything right, but it's almost like the council's working against you. I just don't. I don't see the sense in this project at all.
Before we go, one last thing. Troy Thompson has been allegedly accused of lying to the public over a year and a half ago, a point that the mainstream media and those who stand against him just won't let go of. They keep banging that drum over and over again. Yet, in the course of this, it seems that the council themselves have been caught lying, not once, but twice.
We had a meeting with council and they were all there at the meeting over town, and we brought up why doesn't it go to the port? And they said, we've been contacted the port authority, and when they're doing the dredging over there, they can't take any more material. Our next meeting, about an hour later, we had a meeting with Phil Thompson and Adam Bailey, which just came from the port, and they told us at a meeting with the management down there, and they said the council hadn't approached them at all. So the council just straight out lied. They tried telling us it was topsoil there. They said that twice to us as well, Matthew, at the council, and he said, no, it's just like topsoil, Jono. And yet in community garden they brought up in one of the meetings, and the council backstepped and said, no, nothing will grow in it. It's full of salt.
I'm Batty from the North Queensland Freedom Network. If you have any stories that you think the public should be aware of, contact me at nqfreedomnetwork@protonmail.com.